The beat has been released. Touchdown!
This generation's big boy quarterback matchup.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Sunday marks the 10th meeting between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and that includes the postseason. Allen is 4-1 in the regular season against the Chiefs, but Mahomes is 4-0 in January against Allen and the Bills. The Chiefs won last season's AFC Championship game against the Bills, 32-29 in Kansas City, but this one on Sunday is in Buffalo. They've been going head-to-head for years. And as you know, one comes up in the regular season, one comes up in the playoffs. You got to start to wonder with Buffalo at some point with the money that's been played to Josh Allen and the lack of flexibility they have, RC, when it comes to spending. Is the Buffalo championship window starting to close, in your opinion?
No, it's changing, though, right? The Buffalo Bills championship window felt like a right now thing the last 2 years. Like it had to be done. Like they had the team to do it. He wins the MVP last year. Everything we've seen with Joe Brady, allowing the evolution of Josh Allen, it was all right there for you last year, and you come up short on fourth down. Steve Spagnuolo makes the perfect call, sending Trent McDuffie off the edge of the line. Josh Allen makes an improbable throw. Dalton Kincaid can't come up with the catch. But it seems like the Kansas City Chiefs always come up with the catch. The Kansas City Chiefs always come up with the play. And so if you're the Buffalo Bills, it's what's the next step of this? But I do believe that when you have a Josh Allen, your window's never closing. You have to continue to allow it to evolve. The issue is this team isn't good enough. Yes, they've had injuries. Now Ed Oliver's out for an extended period of time. Matt Milano hasn't been playing, but has Matt truly been the Milano we saw 2 or 3 years ago recently? He hasn't. Now on the back end, Tre'Davious White, who's a good friend of mine, once an All-Pro, now he's not playing at that level anymore. Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp at the safety position when you were so comfortable for years because you had Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, probably the most underrated duo of safety in the history of the game. You don't have that anymore. So it's back on Josh Allen's shoulders. And if you watch 2 of the last 3 games, he's pressing now. He's trying to do too much. He had gotten out of that. And so I do believe that this team is not as good as the teams of the last few years. I'm not closing a window as long as Josh Allen is the quarterback, but they have to continue to evolve because right now where they are, they can't compete with the top of this league.
RC says the window's changing. Do you think that window's closing for Buffalo?
Absolutely not, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to play the age game, right? The great quarterbacks over the years, Brady, Manning, Breeze, Marino, Favre, right? They played their best ball in their 30s. Now, to your point, what I will agree with, they're not good enough yet. We can compete, but we're not going into a game that's saying to ourselves and everybody else, we're better than this team. We're going to out-execute them. We're going to out-coach them. We're going to out-scheme them up. But for us to really look on paper and say, hey, we're better than this team, we're supposed to win, we have pieces that are better, but not the totality is better. With Josh Allen, he's 29, I believe, right? As he's going into his 30s, and you start to say to yourself, okay, he understands how to win. He understands the leader that he has to be, and not just managing his expectations and his skill set, but also managing everybody around him. He's had that skill set added to his repertoire, but the guys or the amenities around him, as I would say, needs to enhance.
Fair enough. I think that when you look at the Bills championship window, we have a right to sit up there and say that it's closing by virtue of looking at the AFC and folks being on a come up. When you look at the Bills and their personnel and you highlighted what they're missing compared to what they had, let's go to the offensive side of the ball with the man that they just paid, Josh Allen, who is a superstar in the National Football League and deserves every damn penny he's getting. But one of the reasons we rave about a Jayden Daniels, for example, is because he was a rookie and he showed you what you could do so you don't have to spend so much money on them. One of the reasons we brought up Kevin McConnell in Minnesota is because you paid Sam Darnold $10 million last year and you got J.J. McCarthy under a rookie deal. So, subsequently, what that's supposed to mean is that you've got additional assets to spread around to make sure that you have a complete team. The Bills are like, no, you can't do that with this brother. This brother been around long enough and he deserves every penny because he's a superstar in this league. But what do you have with him? James Cook is a stud. He's running the football, averaging 6 yards a carry. We know they got the number 1 rushing attack in the National Football League. What do they rank passing-wise? I'm looking it up right now. Passing-wise, in the National Football League this season, they're the 15th ranked passing attack in the National Football League, right? I'm looking at Khalil Shakur. I'm looking at Dalton Kincaid. I'm looking at Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman obviously has to play better. It's just that simple. He just has to play better, okay? So you look at them and you're saying to yourself, they're good. They could beat anybody, but they're far from. We went from talking about the Buffalo Bills as Super Bowl favorites to wondering whether or not they're going to win the AFC East. Think about that. We have questions right now whether they're going to win the AFC East because one man showed up in New England in Drake May and shows that they got a quarterback. They got a franchise quarterback for the future.
But the support, though.
I agree with that. No, I'm not questioning that. But the point is that last year when Gerard Mayo was, I mean, it is what it is. All I'm saying is, by default, we're looking at the other teams. Denver want to come up, Kansas City still there, all these New England, Indianapolis. You're just looking at Buffalo right now saying this is their window. You don't get it now, what you going to do?
Yeah. The old Bulls that I used to cover. Where do you want to play? What style do you want to play? We don't care.
When do you want to play?
When do you want to play? That doesn't make any difference to them. Do you think the Bills have to win this game?
I think they do. I think better yet so they can keep pace with the Patriots, who they've already lost to in their division. Remember, they're not leading their division. Kansas City isn't either. So it's important for them as well, as they've already lost to the Chargers, and the Broncos are in the head of the division. But when you think about Buffalo it's mental. Right? Because they don't think they can beat Kansas City when it matters the most. They haven't been able to do that. And this has been the nut that Josh Allen hasn't been able to crack. And the problem is he doesn't have enough weapons on the other side of the ball. Now, if James Cook isn't cooking that day, he really doesn't have any reliable receivers. That's why it's important that Brandon Beane goes out there and finds somebody that give him a legitimate weapon, because you need stars. Stars wins games in the playoffs, not role players.
Let's come back to that. And when we were doing like a Friday forecast note earlier, Bart said you think the Chiefs beat them badly enough that the Bills feel they need to do something. I happen to have Peter Schrager sitting next to me. What might that something mean?
Got to put caution out there. It is really difficult for the Bills to do anything. Last year they had cap space and they were able to wheel and deal and bring in Amari Cooper. This year they have the least cap space in the entire NFL. $0. Meanwhile, the Patriots have the most in the NFL. If we're looking at these two teams, I think the Patriots are far more likely and far more able to make a deal to get them over the top than the Bills. Brandon Beane's a master. He's wonderful with the salary cap. There are ways to get around it, but Bart, I think on paper it makes a lot of sense. Bring in a receiver, give us a deal. They need it. I don't know if they can do it. They're hamstrung right now.
Let's explain why they need it to my receiver over there. With what they have right now, what are they missing?
All right, so number one, you have guys this season in and out of the lineup. Josh Palmer, who they signed in free agency, he's hurt right now. He's out. Dalton Kincaid as a tight end, who I thought needed to take another jump this season. He hasn't played every game. And then Keon Coleman, he needs to get better as a wide receiver. I did the game last week on ESPN Radio with Steve Levy, and there was a blowout, right? But the coaches sent Keon Coleman back into the ball game so he can get more reps and continue to learn. But there has to be more to your resume and more to your route tree if you're Keon Coleman. It just can't be a go route, a slant, or a hitch, or a stop. You have to.
you.